Welcome to Gentle Core, everybody. Today, all you need is your yoga mat. If you have sore knees or anything, you might want some bolsters or a towel or blanket to lay down under your knees when we get there. And then just a light weight. I only have 10 pounds over here, so I'm going to be using 10 pounds, but 5 pounds is fine too. This class is all about core engagement, so it's not about getting like a really active workout in. Okay, so we just want you to feel your core in different movements. All right, so there will be some squats and some sumo squats where you'll use the weight. But let's start with a flow to warm up the whole body and also stretch open the front of the body. All right, so coming to the end of your mat, you're gonna inhale, reach the arms overhead, and just spend a moment here to stretch. Reach your arms side to side. Oh, crack, 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 maybe. Just waking up the body. All right, come back to center. Big breath in. And exhale, folding forward. Let your head and shoulders be heavy, keeping a slight bend in the back of your legs. All right, so now you might feel a nice stretch through your calves, your hammies, right into your hips, your lower back. We're gonna walk our hands forward into a plank position. All right, we're gonna hold our plank just for a moment. All right, drawing that navel into spine, squeezing the glutes gently, and having nice strong legs here. Make sure you're engaging all these muscles, but you're still able to breathe naturally. All right, we're gonna slowly bring our knees down to the mat and then drop our hips heavy down to the mat as well. Just note your shoulders and roll them down and back away from your ears, stretching out the front of your body, your core, your midsection. You're also feeling a nice back bend here. All right, drawing the chest up towards the sky. We've got rainy skies over here today. All right, from here, keep your toes on the mat and you're gonna lift back into plank. Feel your core working as you lift, and then walking your hands back towards your toes. You're back in this forward fold position. And slowly, slowly, as slowly as you can, roll back up to standing. Your head will come up last. A few shoulder rolls at the top. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms, reach, reach, reach. Big exhale, folding forward. All right, from here, you're gonna walk your hands back out into that plank position. We do usually start with a mini plank series, all right? And we don't do any exercise more than one time. We will move into progressions of the same exercise. All right, holding here. And lowering down to your knees, drop your hips down to the mat, pulling the shoulders back, reaching your chest up to the sky. Nice big stretch for the midsection. Okay, now I want you to push back into a child's pose position to counter that stretch. Knees go wide as your mat. Reach your hips over your heels and reach your fingertips forward. If you want, you can kind of rock your body side to side. You might deepen the stretch from side to side if you're feeling any tightness in the low back. All right, come back to hands and knees. You're gonna step your right foot out to the side, toes pointing forward, and you're gonna reach your hips back. We're just gonna float forward and back a few times. All right, so you float forward, shoulders over the wrists, and float back. We are warming up the inner thighs. You should feel your core working here as well if you're actively engaging. This is just your gentle warm up for when we come up to standing for some sumo squats. which tend to target a little more through the hamstrings and the inner thighs. All right. Walk your hands towards your body, rise up onto your knee. You'll slide your right hand down your right leg and reach it up and over. So draw your shoulders down from your ears. You're getting this deep stretch from your hip through the side of your body, right into your pinky finger. And release. We'll come down to your other side. All right, so you'll step your left leg out, toes pointing forward. Rock your hips back and forward. A few times, about 5 times here. Get that nice opening through the hips, inner thighs. Keep your core engaged. All right, we're gonna hold your hips back and walk your hands towards your body. Slide your left hand down your left leg. Reach it up and over. Get that awesome stretch through the right side of your body. So we stretch and strengthen and activate in this class. All equally important. All right, we're gonna bring it all back to the center. You're gonna come into a plank position from knees. All right, so if you've been doing all the classes and you usually always do planks from toes, that's fine too. You can come to your toes. We're gonna do walkouts to start. For the purpose of this class, I'm gonna cue and demo from knees, okay? Because I want you to focus on engagement. I don't want it to be so challenging that you can barely engage your core muscles. Okay, so from your knees, this is tabletop. I want you in plank. So shifting your hips forward, pelvic tilt, squeeze the glutes to lock your hips in place. All right, from here, you're gonna walk your hands forward towards the end of the mat. You wanna go as far as you can. You're definitely gonna feel your core working harder every step you walk out. Pause for a couple seconds and then gently walk it back. The hands come right back under your shoulders. All right, let's do that again. Walking out and pause for 1, 2, walking back. I hope you all feel this. You might be getting the shakes. And that's good. That just means that your muscles are activating. We're gonna go for 2 more. Walk it out. Pause. Your muscles are firing up. They're working. If you don't feel it, you can walk your hands farther out. You can come to your toes. Walk it back. Good. Last time here. Walk the hands out, out, out. Let's pause for 5, 4, actively engage your core. 3, 2, 1. We're not finished. We're just gonna walk it back, hands right under the shoulders, and rest. Okay. If this was a real live class, I would ask you, did you feel that in your core? All right, I hope that you did. Not, I'll have to do the recording. Gotcha. Okay, all good. So we're gonna come into tabletop position. All right, come back to tabletop. And I just kind of broke down tabletop and plank, right? So tabletop is here. Knees right under your hips, hands right under your shoulders. Draw the navel into spine. You're gonna feel this 10 times more as we lift the knees 2 inches off the mat. You feel all this? Your core should be firing up here. You can't really ignore it. You're gonna start to feel this in your quads as well. Let's try to keep breathing and release. Okay, just take a breath. Just feel all that work. If you want, come up for a second, just roll out the wrists. Okay, and then roll out. These are called roller coasters in the opposite direction. And then you come back to this position and we're gonna add on. So from tabletop position, make sure you're not slouching between the shoulder blades. Press up between the shoulder blades. Lift the knees up 2 inches Can you step one foot out and then the other foot out? So now you're in plank position. Can you, without moving your hips, step it back to tabletop, one foot at a time? Okay, we're gonna do that 3 more times. Step it out, 1, 2, step it back to tabletop, 1, 2. We're halfway through. If you need to take a break at any point, go for it. Step it out for 1, 2, step back, 1, 2. One more time. Shoulders might be feeling this as well. That's okay. And step it back to tabletop. 1, 2, and rest. All right, let's push back into child's pose here. Knees wide, hips back, reach your fingertips forward. All right. We're gonna push back up, and this time we're gonna push into a downward dog position. All right, let's come into your down dog. Your feet are hip distance or more narrow, closer together than hips. Press your shoulders away from your ears. All right, make sure your hands are completely pressed into your mat, your knuckles, so not all your waist is pressing into your wrists. So we're gonna lift our right leg straight up, and then we're gonna shift our weight forward into a plank. Can you bring your knee with you and squeeze that knee in towards your nose? Good, inhale, reach that leg up, and exhale, bring that knee with you, squeezing towards your nose as you come into a plank position. 3 more times. Make sure you're moving with breath. And you're always drawing your navel into spine from your plank position. Last one. All right, come down to rest for a moment. Shake it out if you need to. My family's home. I don't know if you can hear them. Let's come back into downward dog. Push the hips back, push the shoulders away from the ears. Ready? And let's go. Other leg straight up into the air. And exhale, push forward into plank. Bring your knee with you, squeeze. Breath is always super important. So you inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, squeeze that knee into your nose. Good, 3 more. We're not rushing a thing. You want to squeeze as close to your nose as possible and empty out your breath. Last one here. All right, coming down. We are done our plank series. Good work. We're going to come up to standing now. So this is where I would love for you to grab a weight of some kind. If you don't have a dumbbell, you can even grab like a water bottle that's filled, just something. Don't grab your kid, probably too heavy. All right, what we're gonna do is a standing squat with a front raise, all right, with the weight. So you really don't need anything heavy to feel your core working harder here. All right, so feet squat position, arms are long and extended. You're gonna squat. I know you all know how to squat, so you're gonna bend your knees, reach your hips back between your heels. Hold here for a moment, shoulders back, and just raise that weight. Feel your core working though. Sometimes you need to tell it to work. Hold it to your shoulders, slowly bring it down, come all the way up to standing. All right, so you inhale, lower, and then lift that weight up. Feel your core working. And lower down, drive it up. So you're also gonna feel it in your shoulders, all right? But what I want you to do is engage the core. So I also feel this in my pelvic floor. So I want you to think about that next time we go down. We're gonna do 2 more. All right, let's lower down, hold at the bottom. As you lift the weight, do you feel your pelvic floor here? Engage. All right, release, come up. Last one. Slowly, slowly lower down. As you lift, you might feel the pelvic floor muscles engaging, core is working. And drive it all the way up to standing. Shake it out. Okay, good work. That's it for the weight for now. We do have, we are going to use it again when we're lying on our back for the next series. The only other exercise I have from standing is a sumo squat. Okay, so sumo squat or wide-legged squat. Feet are nice and wide, and your toes are pointing out in line with the knees. Okay, so you don't want to be too far out. All right, it should be comfortable. You're going to bend your knees, sink your hips. Okay, your upper body stays upright. What I want you to think about is when we come back up to standing, can you think about lifting the pelvic floor muscles, come up to standing. You should feel your inner thighs, your glutes, and your quads working here. All right, so inhale, knees go wide. And exhale, everything's working together. Pelvic floor is lifting like an elevator, lifting up. All right, and then when you lower down, equally important is releasing. Release. And exhale, zipping everything up. Let's do that 3 more times. Release, release, release as you lower. Big exhale, lifting. Okay, does anybody ever have incontinence or like often feel like they need to pee? All right, this is awesome for strengthening. I do too, okay, for someone who lives and works in the park, I do too. So let's go one more time. Inhale, lower, release, exhale, squeeze and lift upwards. All right, okay, I feel like we could do that all day long, right? We could do that all day long. Okay, so I encourage you to do this. This video will be recorded, and if this feels good to you and you feel like that really worked, feel free to put it on again daily, once a week at least, okay? We're gonna come down to the mat. In this class, we always do glute bridges. We almost always do heel taps. Pullovers are also an amazing way to engage the core without doing any sit-ups or crunches, okay? So this class is not about getting a six-pack, it's about getting core strength, all right? Stabilizing through the core muscles. So you're gonna come into a glute bridge position, press your lower back into the mat, all right? Just put your hands on your core, on your midsection. So as you press your lower back into the mat, do you feel your core engaging just by doing that? I hope so. Now, tuck your tailbone under, all right? Keeping that core engagement, and then peel your hips off the ground, reaching your hips nice and high as you reach your knees away from your body. Slowly, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lowering back down to the mat. Big inhale, exhale, peel it off the mat, lifting hips up. So your glutes are engaged, but you're not squeezing so tight, okay? They're just engaged. You're also reaching your knees away from your body. We'll go for 3 more here. Make sure you're always tucking the tailbone. All right, this bridge position is also excellent for creating that pelvic floor and core engagement. It's really quite subtle, but it feels so good. All right, also awesome for strengthening through the lower back muscles. Let's go last one here. Lift, 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 and hold, pause. Can you keep your hips high? And now you're gonna lift one leg off the mat. Keep your leg bent, bring the knee close to your body. Plant it right back down, other leg. Can you keep your hips lifted the whole time? All right, so these are called marching bridges. Usually I give you a break, but this is about the 4th class. So we're progressing, all right? We are progressing with every class, getting stronger and stronger. We're gonna do 2 more. And last one. Good, slowly, slowly lower down.
Hug your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Okay, let's plant your feet back down. This is where you need your weight again. So 5 pounds, whatever weight you have. I've done this exercise with 35 pounds before, so you really can choose what works for you. It depends on what the purpose is. You don't need a very heavy weight, all right, to feel the work. So for the purpose of this class, I'm using 10 pounds, a pretty lightweight. You're in this glute bridge position, and your arm is extended over your chest and shoulders. Draw the shoulders down from your ears. Press your lower back into the mat. You're going to take a deep breath in as you reach your arms back behind you. Try not to bend your elbows. Your elbows are not locked out, but they don't bend more. Your low back stays on the mat. Reach as far back as you can. Ideally reaching for the ground. Big exhale, use your core and your lat muscles to help you draw that weight back over. You can bring the weight all the way over your stomach, your belly button now, all right? Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Ideally get on the floor if you can. You might have to stop a little early if you have any shoulder mobility issues, which is totally fine. You're just going as far as you can. Moving with breath. Don't talk like I am. I'm talking for you guys, but I want you to focus on your breathing. So you inhale, reach back. Really think about using your core here. So it's easy to recruit all your other muscles to do the work. But I want you to think about using your core. Let's do 2 more together. All right, last one. All right. Okay, if that felt good to you, we're gonna add on. Okay, I said we almost always do heel taps. This is where we're gonna do a heel tap. You can continue to hold that weight over your chest, and then we're gonna do alternating heel taps. Okay, so your legs are 90 degrees. They're not here, and they're not here. They're right here, 90 degrees. Press your lower back into the mat. You're going to lower one heel down to the mat. On an inhale, tap your heel on the ground if you can get that far. And exhale, pull that leg back up. Other leg. Inhale, slowly lower down. If you are ever doing these on your own, you want to go as slowly as possible. Think of moving on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Down. Count to 3 up. 1, 2, 3. Now, keep going. We're going to do a few more, not too many more. But you want to make sure the lower back is staying on the mat the whole time. All right, let's do 1 more on each leg. Wherever you are, do 1 more on each leg. Make sure you're breathing with the movement. Okay, and rest when you are done. Good work. So, I have 1 more progression. All right, now you can add the pull over with the arm with the heel tap. Only if you want. We're going to do 1 more set, okay, where you bring your legs back to tabletop, and you can reach your arms back as you reach 1 leg down. So that is only if you are able to do the last exercise well, okay? So if your low back kept popping off the mat or peeling off the mat, or you couldn't get your heel all the way down, or there was any kind of pain, don't add the upper body, all right? But we're gonna take 30 seconds to finish here with our heel taps. So whatever modification you wanna take, go for it. We have started, timer is on. If you wanna add the arms, the pullover, go for it. Just make sure you breathe as you reach away from the midline and exhale as you come back. Do you feel your core working? You really, really should. If you're moving nice and slow, try your best not to use momentum. All right, ladies, we got 10 seconds left. I hope you're still breathing. Core is on fire by now. Let's go. Finish off one more. And release. Release the weight down. You don't need it anymore. All right. Last thing we are going to do for the core is you'll bring your legs back up into tabletop. Arms can just go out to the side, cactus arms, or if you have space, just completely out to the side. Press your low back into the mat, and you're going to slowly bring your legs to the side. Keep your ankles and your knees squeezed together as you slowly lower to the side. Okay, if you can't make it all the way down to the mat, that's okay. I feel a very deep twist through my lower back. You're going to take a deep breath in and exhale. Try to bring it back to the center. You can hear by my voice it's very challenging for me and maybe you as well, which is totally fine. You're going to keep going. Go through the center over to the other side. Take a moment. Set your knees down. If your knees don't go all the way down, that's totally fine. But when you come back up, take a deep breath and exhale. Pull back up to center. So now you're working your core in a different way from the side, twisting from the side, but in a very gentle way. All right. Well, it's very deep but gentle. You're not doing a ton of crunches or twists. Let's do it one more time each side, everybody. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift up through center, over to the other side. Try not to let your knees come closer to the chest. Good. Try to keep your shoulder blades pressed onto the mat so they're not peeling off. One more time, back over through center, over to the other side. Okay, good work. We're going to come back to the center and hug our knees into our chest. So this class is great also if you experience any lower back pain. So fit mamas, most of us have children, some of us young children that you have to pick up every now and then, and they're not that little anymore, right? 20, 40, 50 pounds. It's very important to strengthen the core, all right? And hopefully these exercises, if you do them regularly, you're going to minimize your back pain as well, which I feel almost every day, just so you know. All right, we have a couple minutes. We're going to stretch it out. You're going to roll back to your stomach. Okay, legs extended out, hands by your chest. Draw the shoulders down from your ears. Big breath in. And exhale, extending the arms straight. You're working with your own body here. So if it doesn't feel good to press all the way up, don't. Keep a nice little bend in the elbows. But I want you to think about keeping your hips heavy. As you pull your chest up, do you feel that difference in the stretch in your core? All right, it is important to stretch through your core, also through all your hip muscles, supporting the hip. All right, big exhale, hips go over your heels, knees stay wide, child's pose. Good, just let your forehead rest on the mat. And we're going to stretch to the side body just one more time. Walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Left hand lands on the right. Draw the left side of your body down. Just rest your head for a moment. Before we have to get on with our busy days, just rest. I'm talking 10 seconds here. One more slow deep breath. And let's walk it through center, over to the left side. Right hand will land on your left and draw the whole right side of your body down into the mat, resting your head. All right, walk through center and rising up. You are all done your gentle core work for the day.